Since the pandemic, it's probably fair to say that your use, our use, and my use anyway, of cleaning products used to ensure that we are living in cleaner environments has gone way up. However, what you might not know is that these products can be incredibly harmful to you and the environment. To discuss this issue and explore a potential solution, we are speaking with Dan Lawson, co-founder and president of business affairs at Viking Pure Solutions, a company that produces a patented e-water non-toxic solution that has the power to redefine our idea of a clean environment. In this episode, we discuss how Viking Pure stands out from other cleaning options on the market, how Viking Pure is helping remove toxic chemicals from the environment, and how it's also helping to reduce plastic waste in the process. And finally, we cover where the name Viking Pure actually comes from for this Florida-based company. Enjoy the show. Disclosure: this episode contains a client of an Espacio portfolio company.
I appreciate the opportunity to be here, Sam. My name is Dan Lawson, and I'm the president of business development for Viking Pure Solutions. And in a nutshell, we're actually a manufacturing company, a U.S.-based manufacturing company out of the state of Florida, who builds a very special type of technology that we call a generator. And this generator is capable of producing completely non-toxic and safe, cleaning and disinfecting chemicals without sacrificing efficacy. We install these generators in a multitude of different types of, customer locations. We serve a handful of different industries, from healthcare to, food processing, packaging, education, et cetera. But what our technology allows our customers to do is generate all of their needed cleaning and disinfecting chemicals on site, within their establishment, freeing them from, the challenges associated with purchasing, with storing, and really most importantly, using dangerous and toxic chemicals for their daily needs. So, our mission really is to remove toxic chemicals from the environment, to educate people to a technology that's really been at their fingertips for their entire lives. And I can tell you a little bit more about that later, but to really kind of offer an opportunity for a paradigm shift away from what we considered our industry standards, and introduce technology that is going to make the world a better place.
Awesome. Well, I have to say, reducing toxic chemicals from the environment, that's a mission I think that we can all get on board with universally. I don't know anyone that would be against that, so maybe you know them, but
I got maybe a few in the chemical industry, right?
yeah, I guess so. But you know what? Screw that.
I agree. Yeah, right. Totally. No, I appreciate your perspective. That's been an awesome journey. We started Viking Pure Solutions back in 2014. The technology had existed previous to that, but we were able to to kind of reorganize the company at that time, and really strive for greatness as it pertains to education, and then obviously the incorporation of our technologies, where we just are so enthusiastic that our customers have made the decision to walk away from the toxic chemicals for the benefit of not just their customers, but for their fellow team members that that may be responsible for those daily kind of obligations for cleaning and disinfecting. And knowing that they've been able to walk away from those risks and adopt a technology that can kind of change their mindset it's very gratifying for us.
No, I can imagine, definitely. Now, as you mentioned there, you've been around for a while, so obviously you're doing something right. But I would like to know, what is it that you're doing right, essentially, and compared to other products? How do the cleaning products of Viking Pure stand out from other cleaning options on the market?
Yeah, definitely. I think that the main differentiators of our product versus those that people may be more accustomed to are the way that they're created and kind of what you have in their final formulation. So our machines, the Viking Pure machines, are capable of taking salt, sodium chloride, essentially mixing that salt with water and combining it with electricity in a very specific way to create the two Viking Pure cleaning solutions. What happens in kind of a simple a way as I can explain it is the salt ion, sodium chloride, is separated into its two main ions, sodium and chlorine, inside of a Viking Pure generator. And those solutions are then added to fresh streams of water to create the two Viking Pure solutions that you get from our technology. And the two solutions are a chlorinated Viking Pure disinfectant that we call hypochlorous acid, or HOCl for short. And this product will, kill any germ without, any toxic risk. I mean, the solution is literally safe to drink, believe it or not, but will kill all germs. The second product that's created is a sodium hydroxide based cleaning and degreasing solution, which is intended to be used on floors or glass, carpet. Whenever soils need to be removed or cleaned from surfaces, it's just an excellent multi-purpose cleaner. The two solutions are created in kind of like their ready to use concentration. So there's no mixing, there's no adding, any additional, products to the solutions to make them effective. And there's no additional additives as well for like fragrance or color, et cetera. So, the handling of the Viking Pure solutions is really a lot different than using normal chemicals. Normal chemicals typically have a multitude of different ingredients, not only ingredients that are necessary for killing germs if that's what they're designed to do, but there's also colors added, there's fragrances added, there are sometimes many different types of soaps, et cetera, that are added. And over time, when you use traditional chemicals, you start to notice, really the result of their use on surfaces. You can feel some buildup. Surfaces can become sticky or tacky, or glass, for example, can become foggy after it's been just wiped so many times with certain types of glass cleaners, which is so counterproductive. But regardless, the handling of the solutions becomes an ultimate differentiator between the two. The nice thing is that although simple and created via this kind of unbelievable combination of water, salt, and electricity, the Viking Pure solutions meet and exceed all of the same regulatory credentials that we see here in the United States through the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, as you would find with any commercially available product. So that's just really the most gratifying thing, is understanding that the product doesn't lack in an efficacy perspective, especially from a regulatory perspective, but but can offer all of these kind of outstanding benefits of not having a toxic profile, not having a lot of unknown ingredients, and certainly none of the nuisances, if you will, associated with using traditional chemicals.
No, that's good to know. And I suppose I would like to have like a little run through just to demonstrate how Viking Pure is helping the environment, really. So I can imagine, like, to put it really simply, if we're using these chemicals in our homes, like, how does that then go on to infect the environment and damage the environment? And how is Viking Pure like kind of like skipping that or avoiding that?
Great question. Great question. So when you think about using traditional chemicals, we're going to emphasize a lot during our conversation today, like obviously the toxic profile, right? And toxicity doesn't necessarily just apply to our own personal interactions with the products, but also our environment's interactions with the products. So, applying them to certain surfaces over time, is going to cause, significant kind of, breakdown of those surfaces, but also the waste, associated with traditional chemicals, right? Dumping them down the drains, affecting our water, over time can certainly accumulate and have significant, environmental impacts. Then there's also the traditional kind of buying and recycling, method of, an ultimate, revolution of plastic bottles coming into the home or to the business and then out, through this recycling, structure that we have here. Viking Pure, alleviates and kind of relieves a lot of the stresses associated with some of those different systems. So as opposed to buying, and relying on traditional supply chain, management and the carbon footprints associated with those efforts, our solutions are generated on site in unlimited amounts, via the incorporation of our technology into the space. All the machine that Viking Pure needs is access to water, salt, and electricity. And then you're generating these solutions. You're reusing the plastic bottles. You're filling, your traditional spray bottles or mop buckets, et cetera, with a Viking Pure product, but not having, the waste associated with the use of the products on kind of the back end. Several of the customers that we work with are tracking this very closely. Not just from an environmental sustainability impact, but also, on the efficacy side, right? Like, are we able to achieve as good or better outcomes from an infection prevention perspective, but also be able to, to really cut down on the carbon footprint of our establishment.
Hopefully you're enjoying the show, and if you are, make sure you subscribe and never miss an episode. You can find us on all your usual podcast sites: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Podcast Addict, and a whole lot more, including YouTube. And we want to hear what you think, so be sure to leave us a review. Just search Brains Byte Back wherever you get your podcasts. Yeah, I can understand now how this helps in a variety of ways, because obviously you've got the toxic chemicals that you're not putting out into the environment, the reduction of plastic waste, the lack of carbon footprint, I suppose, because the more you're able to do with less travel, the better. And then on top of that, all the miscellaneous stuff, like I can imagine, that comes with just like packaging on top of all of that, like cardboard use as well.
I wish you could see it, firsthand. I mean, a lot of our customers, have really become beacons of best practice within their respective communities. I mean, we had a few senior living communities, during, the pandemic, be recognized at like at a state level for their support of their local environment. If you remember, when supply chains were essentially shut down, product was sparse, especially, disinfectants, local ambulance corps, firehouses, preschools, et cetera, before the shutdown. We're having, challenges, getting access to these types of products. And this, a few of our customers, specifically this one senior living community here in the United States, was highlighted because they were generating this product on site. They were delivering, they were, supporting local, local businesses, with the use of this product. And, all the while, being ultimately sustainable, right, and friendly for the environment. We've got many customers that give their employees, personal access to the on-site generation at their establishment, so that they can bottle and bring product home, use the products at home, and kind of extend these levels of protection, beyond the confines of their business, and really truly supporting their communities.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's steps like these which are going to be necessary in order to move towards a society that is sustainable. So that's fantastic that this is a product and service that definitely fits into that kind of society.
Yeah, well, thanks. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I suppose you've mentioned a few case studies already there, but are there any others that really stick out in your mind?
I appreciate you asking. Yeah, so case studies can take on so many different, directions. And from our perspective, we want to have a case study for every industry that we serve. Like I said in the beginning of our conversation, we serve customers at the highest level of healthcare and in some of our nation's leading healthcare, systems. And, but we also, diversify very much and serve many schools. We serve, many recreational environments, from, golf courses, country clubs, to, kind of gyms and, fitness centers. But we also have, quite a, a market presence with several amazing customers in like the food, packaging, processing, and in agricultural spaces. So, with each one of our customers, there seems to be, the common denominators associated with a multitude of toxic chemicals that they're currently using. Because if you think about it, even in your own house, right? If you were to look under the kitchen sink, what are you going to see? You're going to see chemicals that are specific for grease, right? You're going to see chemicals that are specific for cleaning glass. You may have a disinfectant or a sanitizer or two, and then you got a carpet cleaner and a wood cleaner, et cetera. Our goal is to consolidate the plethora of the different chemicals that an establishment may use to clean and disinfect, and really be able to get them to just only needing to utilize the two Viking Pure solutions that are generated on site. So when we involve ourselves with customers, we look at many different performance metrics. One of them is always chemical consolidation, and across the board, when we speak to customers in different industries, we see upwards of an 80 to 90% reduction in their variety of chemical. And then as a result of not having to buy such a kind of a diversification, there's a significant cost savings as well. So really, regardless of industry, we see oftentimes a drastic cost savings kind of across the board, upwards of 75%, with some of our current customers, depending on kind of what they're buying, their volume, and what their true needs are. But our goal, because every customer is unique, is to develop an individualized case study for them, because the value proposition then is undeniable, especially when you consider all of the kind of ancillary benefits of being able to promote and generate these products in an unlimited amount.
Yeah, I really love your goal as well, to have a client in every industry. I suppose with a product as versatile and as necessary as yours, that's one of the luxuries you have, that you can tap into so much and be in so many places. So I think that's really cool.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, one of the newest industries for us, which is it's an exciting one. I don't know a lot about it, but the agriculture space, and just being able to see how, like, the same products, right, that we're using to kill the hardest to kill germs in hospitals, is also safe to be directly applied, right, to plants and their crop. And the ability to kind of integrate these solutions through, like, hydroponic systems where we're decontaminating source water and shocking the soil of plants, is just it's just amazing to me that it's literally the same product that we're using to clean operating rooms with. So just very gratifying, and again, a testament to the diversification of the solution and its overall safety profile.
Yeah, no, I can absolutely imagine. I do have to say one thing. It's a bit off topic, but when I first saw that your name was Viking Pure, I assumed that you might be a Scandinavian company, and then I checked it out and saw you folks were in Florida. So I'd love to know, like, what's the story behind the name Viking Pure?
Yeah, I certainly cannot take credit for the name, but we love the culture that we're able to create, kind of with the Vikings, if you will. We've got a team now of just about 75 FTEs, Vikings out there, like pushing the mission. But the name actually goes back to the original inventor of our technology. This man, his name's Walter Warning, and he was of Norwegian descent. And when he initiated his projects into this space, before I was actually involved, he was calling his company Viking Pure. And when we did get involved, my fellow business partners and I, back in 2014, and kind of take the company forward from that point, we thought the name had a lot of sticking power. Not only is it kind of unique in the space that we're in, where there's a lot of companies that kind of have that, like, green, sustainable kind of, not that there's anything wrong with that, but there's just more, there's more of that than there is Vikings in that space. So we thought that we would, kind of stand out from that perspective. But it, when we think of Vikings, at least personally, I think of, a powerful, group of people, and we kind of correlate that power, to our solutions as well. So, we thought that there was a really good opportunity to keep the name as not just a shout out, right, to some of our Norwegian descent, but also more representative of, who we are in the industry, standing out with a very powerful product.
Yeah, no, definitely. I have similar associations. I also think of, like, powerful, like you kind of mentioned, and also going out and conquering. So in my mind, I
Yeah.
suppose that's twofold. It could be your company going out and conquering the market, or your products going out and conquering and taking over all the germs and all the nasty little things
Yeah,
that you're trying to take on.
maybe as opposed to the Vikings, if you will, but it's all positive, right? Like the
Yeah.
the solutions,
Vikings pure at
to
heart.
yeah, there you go. I love it. I mean, you might see that soon, on
Awesome. Yeah, take that. That's
yeah,
you have that
piece
one
of
for free.
equipment. Yeah, I love it. I
All
love it.
right.
Now it's a great question though. We get asked that a lot.
Just have one more question for you, and I'd love to
Yeah.
know, like, you're obviously doing a lot of good work at the moment, but what's next? Like, what's in the future for you folks?
Yeah, so we are 100% committed, to just testing the limits of our technology. Like, how far can we take this? And I think that what's on the horizon for Viking Pure is obviously this, commitment to a cleaner future, through the removal of toxic chemicals, but to continue to, really focus on the strategic relationships with like-minded, individuals, businesses, not just here in the United States, but across the world, that want to bring more awareness to a sustainable future. And from our perspective, there is a lot of momentum, in that space right now. And for us, as we continue to investigate, our opportunities in the future, we are really excited about forthcoming partnerships and opportunities to really just be able to magnify our mission at a much higher level.
Fantastic. Well, I do wish you the best of luck. It sounds like you're doing some great work, especially for the environment. And yeah, I hope you continue to see the success you've seen so far. Now, if people do want to keep up with the work you're doing and what you folks are doing, what are the best ways for them to do that?
Yeah, definitely. Well, before we finish, I just, I want to make sure that, for all of those that are listening, and if there's any current customers and, team members, we're so thankful for our relationship, with you, and, are devoted to maintaining the highest level of excellence that you would look for in an industry or service provider. But to learn more about Viking Pure, please check us out at www.vikingpure.com. We've got a great website there, some interactive, testimonial videos from some current customers. Again, my name is Dan Lawson, and you can certainly follow me and our company on LinkedIn and some of the other social media platforms, as we're constantly sharing our efforts and successes kind of in the space. So yeah, please find us there.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me today, Dan, and best of luck.
Hey, Sam, thanks a ton. I really appreciate this opportunity. Have yourself a nice weekend.
Thanks. Growing a company has many hurdles, from securing funding to expanding your business capabilities to ranking better on search. Each business challenge is uniquely complex. The solution to these challenges is growth-focused digital PR and marketing, and that's where our sponsor Publicize comes in. Publicize sets itself apart from traditional PR companies. It does not charge large retainers or churns out press releases whether you've got a newsworthy announcement or not. Publicize builds on your business's online presence and gets high-quality PR and media coverage for startups and entrepreneurs who are priced out of a broken PR industry. And for a limited time only, exclusive to Brains Byte Back listeners, you can receive a social media assessment as part of your package for any tier of service at no extra charge with this special promotion. To find out more, visit publicize.co/BBB. That's publicize.co/BBB. This is the end of today's show. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this and you want to hear more episodes just like it, then follow and subscribe to Brains Byte Back wherever you get your podcasts. We're also available on YouTube under the channel of our publication, The Sociable. Just search Brains Byte Back and you'll find all of our episodes there. We really love hearing what you have to say, so leave us a review on iTunes or on any other podcasting platform to let us know what you think. You can also reach out on Twitter at The Sociable. And finally, go to sociable.co, where you can find all our episodes and plenty of articles on topics just like this. Thanks again for joining us, and until next time, stay safe and stay healthy.